fishing my home waters of Table Rock Lake in southern Missouri this morning, and I tell you, earlier the topwater bite was just phenomenal. I'm fishing out of the new Eagle 170Se. This is a great boat for running around and hitting those hot spots when there's a topwater action and you got to be quick getting there. The Eagle 170Se by G3 Boats is a 17-foot long boat with an 85-inch wide beam. It's built on their wide body design, so it's very stable even if you have two guys up front. It's rated for a 90 horsepower Yamaha motor. I have a 70 on here and I ran it today. It ran like a dream with the 70. I can't imagine what it would run like with a 90. It has a 21-gallon fuel tank, so you've got plenty of fuel to get to the faraway places. It also has a 27-gallon divided live well, so you can keep your catch separate from your partner's. As you can see, the silver urethane high gloss paint combines with the custom G3 graphics and the color matching interior to provide a great looking ride. It's also one of the best values in the G3 lineup. A great fishing boat at a good price and a solid looking craft. Let's take a look at some of the inside amenities on the new Eagle 170Se. Comes standard with a Minn Kota 55 edge trolling motor, so it's got plenty of forward power for fishing even in some higher wave conditions. There's carpeting throughout the boat, nice plush marine grade carpet. It's an easy step down into the cockpit area where you've got ample storage on the front deck, both left and right. There's also a center rod locker that holds a ton of long rods, and they're easily accessible right on the deck. In the cockpit area, there's a conveniently located cup holder, and with the back seating, they've arranged the seating so there's two seats, not bench style seating, which makes a great step up onto the back deck. The cockpit is newly designed, it's rounded, and the gauges are laid flush along with the switches, but they're moved to the right side of the rounded console so they're easily readable and easily reachable. The Eagle 170Se also has an optional dual console layout for a passenger. If you want to configure it that way, you and your passenger can both ride free from the wind and the elements. The passenger seat folds forward and has a built-in cooler, which is really nice. On the driver's side, the seat folds forward for additional storage. The live well that I mentioned earlier has two lids so that you can put the fish in whichever side you want. Stepping up onto the back deck, you can see that the boat is nice and wide in the rear and very stable. There's also plenty of room for the passenger or co-pilot to fish in the rear and be comfortable. If you get a chance, stop by a G3 dealer in your area and check out the all-new Eagle 170Se. I'm crappie fishing today out of the brand new 2011 Eagle 178 panfish. This is an all-new boat for 2011. It's got a great interior design and it's welded on the wide body hull. It's the largest in the panfish series of G3 boats, and I want to take you through the boat and show you the things that I really like about it and what I think makes it a great panfish and multi-species boat. The boat comes standard with a Minn Kota Edge 55 trolling motor, and it moves the boat easily around. I only have this on 4 power right now, but it goes all the way up to 5. Up front, you have a nice vinyl decking, plenty of room. There's lots of cargo net storage on both sides of the front, as well as storage right here for convenient tackle boxes to keep your assorted jigs and things in. As you step down into the interior of the boat, you'll notice that it's an easy step because they've taken the front platform and lowered it just slightly, giving you higher sides. There's 3-position seating on the bow so that you can take the 2 seats that are located front and aft and set them side by side for crappie fishing or pan fishing straight off the bow. Just to the right of the front seat, there's a conveniently located bait bucket for keeping your minnows or leeches fresh. There's also a front live well, which is plenty big enough for smaller panfish on up to large perch size. There's a cup conveniently located also on this panel, so that if you have two anglers fishing on the bow of the boat in the two pedestal bases, each one has a place to put their soft drink. Stepping down into the cockpit area, there is a lockable rod storage box set into the gunnel, which can hold up to 8-foot rods. Again, it's lockable for security. There's a nice long cargo net down in here for storing smaller tackle boxes, but still keeping them accessible. The fire extinguisher and the front navigation light are also easily accessible. The console, it's stylish, rounded, and the gauges are recessed. As you step into the captain's seat, there's more than adequate leg room, and the steering wheel is positioned nicely. The gauges are laid out in a round section towards the right, so they're highly visible even while you're driving. There's a fuel, trim, tachometer, speedometer, and numerous switches, including master power, aeration for both the front and rear live well, as well as bilge and navigation lights. There's also a Garmin FF95 fish finder, which sits atop the new rounded molded console. There's also an optional snap-in carpet, giving the cockpit area a nice clean feel as you walk around. The passenger seat moves forward, giving you access to a very large live well. But you also have access to the live well by lifting a smaller portion of it. That's handy. There's storage for the passenger right below his seat, just like there is for the driver. And there's molded tackle trays to the right and to the left of the passenger seat. Also new for 2011, the pedestal seat bases not only position themselves in place, but they screw down and lock securely. The navigational running light for the rear is folded and stores easily along the left side of the gunnel, and there's another convenient cup holder for the passenger in the back, so that the angler in the back has access to not only the live well, but also a nice convenient cup holder. Stepping onto the aft deck, it's wide and it's nice, easily cleaned vinyl. The back seat is comfortable, as is the front, and you'll notice that this boat is paired with a 70 horsepower motor. The Eagle 178 panfish has a new triple channel, all aluminum tubing for added strength when paired with 70 horsepower or larger motors. This provides superior strength on the rear of the hull, and with the added high quality superior weld lines, you have one of the toughest hulls in the industry and one of the toughest transoms. Let's take a look under the rear lid. This large lid sits just in front of the motor. It has plenty of room for your running battery, your trolling battery, and an extended range 15-gallon built-in gas tank. If you're looking for a top-notch multi-species or pan fishing boat that's conveniently laid out for exactly that type of fishing, stop by your nearest G3 dealer and check out the brand new 2011 178 Eagle panfish. You know, oftentimes when people decide to buy a boat, there's a discussion within the family about whether they should buy a fishing boat or a ski boat. Well, some folks like angling, other folks in the family like water sports. G3 has solved that issue by creating the Angler V185FS. This is a dual-purpose boat to make everybody in the family happy. The V185FS is an 18-foot 5-inch boat. It has a nice wide 96-inch beam and an 82-inch bottom. The bow and bottom are double-plated .100 gauge aluminum, making for a strong, tough, and durable hull. Let's take a look at some of the features that I think make this an exceptional water sports and angling boat and make it the best of both worlds, thanks to G3 boats. Let's start at the bow. For the angler, it's set up very nice. There's a nice wide casting deck. It's pre-wired for a 24-volt trolling motor, so you can add the trolling motor of your choice. It also has a courtesy light up front, so you can use that for night fishing so you're not fumbling for items in the dark. There's a battery power level indicator so you know when your batteries are charged and when they're running down. And there's also a 2-bank Pro battery charger, so charging the batteries are as easy as plugging it in up front. There's a little bit of storage underneath the bow, and there's a ton of storage throughout the boat. There's nicely laid in cargo nets, starboard and port, so that you can store your smaller tackle boxes or smaller items up the front, but they're still very handy. Another feature that the anglers will really appreciate is there's a live well up front. There's also a live well in back, but the 15-gallon live well up front makes it very easy and convenient for the angler to drop his fresh catch at his feet and continue fishing. There's also plenty of storage that's dry and lockable. Let me show you just how quickly the bow of the Angler V185FS switches from an angling platform to a true water sports bow. The bow of the V185FS has marine grade carpet, which makes it really nice to walk around on. As we step down and back into the cockpit, you'll notice that the cockpit is made of marine grade vinyl. That makes for a quick and easy cleanup after a day on the lake. The cockpit of the V185 is really laid out nice. It has dual consoles with a full wraparound windshield to keep the wind off your face. There's some storage in the front here for a 24-volt battery system, so it's out of the way. And it's lockable, so you don't have to worry about security. The console on the V185FS has quality top-of-the-line Yamaha gauges. It has a switch panel that's conveniently located with master power, aerator, forward and aft recirculation, and a bilge pump. There's also a marine-grade Sony entertainment system built into the dash for CDs or playing your favorite iTunes. There are speakers laid out through the boat, which is another feature that makes this a fun watercraft for a Saturday on the lake. The steering column is tilt steering, so you can position it exactly where it's most comfortable for you. It's also true hydraulic steering, making turning and maneuvering a breeze. One of the things I noticed about this 2011 boat is that they've added a second 12-volt power point. Now that's pretty important to me because oftentimes I'm charging my cell phone with one. This gives me the option to run some electronics, maybe a GPS, an extra graph, or perhaps even a spotlight for finding the shore at night. That's neat, and I really think that's a great addition. On the port side of the boat, there is a rod locker. It's lockable and lighted. And new for 2011, there's also additional storage in the starboard gunnel. That's a great feature, and it's also lockable, so once you walk away from your boat at the dock, you don't have the worry of unlockable storage. When I said that G3 Boats built this boat, the 185FS, as a dual-purpose boat, I wasn't kidding. For 2011, they've added a really great feature to the back of the boat. Let me show you. They've added a ski tow pole, which slides easily into place in the back deck, and it has a pin to lock it into position. That's a great feature. The cargo nets that I mentioned earlier are a great place to store this and keep it out of the way. Okay, so that was a great water sports feature. What about the angling features? Let's go to one of those. The seats are positionable. You can put one on the front and one on the back. Then you're right back to an angling platform. It changes that fast from one to the other, and that's a really great feature because the day may change as you go along. You can start out fishing, and when the weather warms up, pick up some more of the family and take off for a great day of water fun. G3 boats come with quality Yamaha controls and cables, and Yamaha motors are always hung on the back of a G3. With the dependability of Yamaha motors and G3 boats, you can't go wrong with the new Angler V185FS. Take a look at one at your nearest dealer if you need a boat that pulls double duty. I've been back up in this little creek arm fishing for brim and bluegill all day with my fly rod. The only reason I could get back in here is because I had a boat that had a shallow enough draft to do it. The 1656 CCJ Deluxe from G3 Boats has a jet motor on the back. If you need to get into shallow water, this thing will run into some extremely tight places. The 1656 is 16 foot 5 inches in length. It has a 76-inch beam, so it's nice and wide. You'll notice the burgundy silver graphics, which give it great curb appeal. But the thing that catches most people's eye to begin with is the fact that the console and helm are moved far forward in the boat. By placing the console and helm to the forward part of the boat, it allows the boat to get up much faster on plane and run in much shallower water. Now let's take a look at some of the inside amenities on the 1656 center console Jet Deluxe from G3 Boats. The boat is pre-wired for a 12-volt trolling motor, so you don't have that hassle. You can pick the trolling motor of your choice and bolt it right on with no trouble at all. Up front, you'll notice it's got an ample casting deck that's got vinyl, easy to clean vinyl, marine grade vinyl, in fact, so it's more tough and durable than regular vinyl, laid throughout the entire boat. But it's a non-skid surface. There's two large, very large actually, storage compartments that are lockable right here on the bow, and they're within easy reach. Let me move my fly rod out of the way and I'll step down into the cockpit area. There are easy step downs on both sides of the console and a black grab rail making comfortable and easy access into the driver's seat. From the seat, you'll notice the boat has a Garmin 95 fish finder. That's standard equipment on the 1656 CCJ Deluxe. You'll also notice that it has a custom stainless steel steering wheel, giving the boat a very classy look at the helm. To the right of the steering wheel are the switches: master power, navigation lights, port bilge, starboard bilge, aerator, and internal lights. There's also a 12-volt power